Welcome back to the show, girls, and happy Thanksgiving. If you're listening to this on Thanksgiving, I hope you are surrounded by warmth and good food in whatever way that looks like to you. If today is tough for you for whatever reason, I see you and I'm honored to spend a little bit of your holiday with you. This Thanksgiving, Joey and I are spending in LA, just us, which normally, we both love being with our families. So it's always, of course, a little sad to not be, but we just really wanted to relax just us this year and have like a special Thanksgiving dinner and just like cook, watch the parade, relax, just us. We've been doing so much traveling. We were just in Chicago a couple weeks ago for wedding planning stuff and just been all over the place. So it feels really nice to just be in our home and be together and just cook, drink lots of wine, and enjoy each other. So that's what we're doing. We're definitely more of like wake up and drink mimosas and make cinnamon rolls while watching the parade instead of like a turkey trot. And that to me is wellness. So that's on that. But good for you if you've done a turkey trot, if you got out for a walk today, whatever it is. If you are listening to this after Thanksgiving, I hope you had a great guilt-free Thanksgiving, whether you were with your family, your friends, enjoying the day solo. Either way, thank you for being here. That's kind of the whole theme of this month, being here. As I was planning out our December curriculum and thinking what the theme should be, what theme would serve you most this month, I kept coming back to this idea of presence. Not as like a buzzword or this wellness cliche, because I feel like the word presence kind of gets a little like ew, like icky, cheesy, but as an actual skill, a practice, and honestly, something that I think we are starved for this time of year. December can so easily become a blur. Like every year in the past for me, December quickly becomes this like huge blur of obligations, spending money, rushing, expectations. And I don't want you to miss your life because you're too busy trying to keep up with it. Presence is what actually lets us experience joy instead of chasing it. It's the thing that helps us rest much more than canceling plans. And it's what actually helps us connect instead of just performing connection. Presence is what will also help us wrap up the year with clarity, intention, and meaning rather than burnout. So think about it. Like, how present are you actually right now? Like, are you half listening to this episode while scrolling? Or are you thinking about your to do list or checking your phone again? We live in a world that is constantly trying to pull us out of the moment into productivity, into worry, into comparison. So, presence, being present, is a rebellion. It's power. And it's also really freaking hard to be present in today's world. So, this month, while December usually screams, do more, buy more, be more, we are going to try something different this year. Okay. This curriculum is about doing less, but feeling more. It's about learning how to actually be in your life, not just optimize it or scroll past it or future trip your way into it. So, everybody with me now, we're going to do it together, group exercise. Okay. We're going to take a minute just to pause wherever you are, even if you're driving in your car. Obviously, don't physically pause because road safety is very crucial, but just take a minute to breathe, to just think about your body right here, right now. Take a deep breath, focus on only what's around you, what you're listening to. And we're going to get into December's monthly curriculum on presence. So, what does being present actually mean? Being present is often interchangeable with mindfulness. It's the practice of bringing your full attention to the current moment. I also think about it like being present means your mind and body are in the same place at the same time. You're not time traveling to the past or future, like you're not thinking about the past or worrying about the future. In the big moments, like on Christmas Day or on Thanksgiving, you're focused on actually enjoying this time. But I also mean it in the day-to-day micro moments, like you're drinking your coffee and thinking about the coffee and how pleasurable it is instead of your to-do list for the day. Or you're listening to someone speak without thinking about what you just said or what you want to say next, because that even still is either past or present time traveling. You're just focused on what they're saying in the moment. When you bring your attention fully into the present, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest part of the brain that signals safety and calm to the rest of your body. This helps lower stress, regulate your emotions, and increase focus. But on the other hand, when you're distracted, when you're multitasking, when you're stuck in future past thinking, you're worrying about something, you are firing up the sympathetic nervous system, the stress response. That's why presence doesn't just feel good, it literally rewires your brain for more happiness and peace, and it affects your physical body, the health of your body. There's something called attention control, the ability to consciously direct your focus, as neuroscientists call it. And studies show that people with stronger attentional control are not only less anxious and more resilient, but they also report higher levels of satisfaction in their relationships and careers. A 2010 Harvard study proved that one of the cornerstones of happiness was the ability to be present. Mind wandering, which the study defined as basically being the opposite of present, having your mind wander to a different time, place, or to do list, whatever. Mind wandering was a stronger predictor of unhappiness than the activity itself. So let me break this down on what it means because I think that's kind of confusing, but this is actually like the coolest, most life changing study, seriously. So, even neutral or slightly unpleasant tasks, commuting, doing the dishes, doing laundry, made people happier when they were fully present compared to even pleasurable activities like vacation or going out to dinner if they were done while distracted. So, just for a minute, like think about that. Think about how crazy that is. How happy you feel at any given moment actually isn't determined at all by what you're doing. Whether you're out to dinner with friends or doing chores actually does not determine how happy you feel in that moment. What does determine your happiness is whether you're present or whether you're distracted. Like, isn't that freaking mind boggling? That means that even the tasks you dislike that you have to do every day, the workout, carpool, chores, whatever it is not the reason for your unhappiness. If you're not present, it doesn't matter to your happiness whether you are on a dream vacation or having the most boring day at work. I think this is really exciting because it shows that we have 100% control over our own happiness. This, I think, is especially important in December when overstimulation, pressure, and comparison culture peak. Practicing presence this month isn't just about, sitting cross-legged in silence, meditating every day. It's about training your brain to stop time traveling through stress and to anchor into now. Because in this moment, right now, wherever you are, if you're on a walk, if you're in your car, if you're doing laundry, this is where your life is actually happening. It is where connection lives, where creativity lives, where joy lives. So that's the whole goal this month, to stop missing your life because you were too busy thinking about it. Do you guys ever have those moments where you're in a moment and you realize, oh, I am going to remember this moment forever? Like, this is one of those memories that I will look back on. I realized how little I was actually present because of an aha moment that I had while on vacation. So I was on an amazing trip, something that I looked forward to for months and for months felt like I wish it was here already. I can't wait to be on this trip. I was constantly time traveling to the future thinking of this trip, right? And when I was actually on the vacation, like yes, it was so fun, it was really amazing, but I also found myself starting to be like, okay, I'm ready to go back to my routine, or I'm really tired, or I miss Louie, my dog, or I feel unproductive, or my stomach hurts from all the food I've been eating. I feel really unhealthy, whatever it is. Like, obviously, of course, enjoying the vacation, but I also had the itch for vacation to be over so I could go home. But then after the vacation, I would look back and be like, oh my God, that was the best trip. I would give anything to be back on that trip instead of back home in my chores doing work. And I had this realization of like, whoa, I spent all beforehand and after wanting to be on this trip. But then when I'm on this trip, I wanted to be back home. And I had this realization of like, have I ever felt fully present? Like, this is the one and only place I want to be? Honestly, no. I feel like I'm so happy all the time, but I also would be waiting for weekends or a vacation And then on vacation or even on weekends, I would be waiting to get back to my routine. On a bigger scale, I notice this happening too with life stages. I mean, wouldn't you give anything to go back to being a kid just for a day? Like, we think back on this time like we're young and innocent and playing with friends and have no responsibilities. Like, those were the days, right? And then when we were actually kids, all we wanted was to be a grown up. I look back on my college days now, wishing more than anything I could relive those. I was with all my best friends. I would go out on weekdays. Like, who is she? It was so much fun. I would give anything to go back to that phase of my life. But did I really feel present in college? No, I spent most of college, yes, obviously having a lot of fun, but I was also homesick a lot. I was wishing I was at home, or especially in, like, the second half of college, I, for so long, felt like I'm done with taking classes. I wanna get out in the world and work. And so, like, we know that this is happening so much in our life, and I know for a fact that phase that I'm in right now, this time that I'm in right now, while I'm focusing on all the challenges and wishing I was in a different time, in the future, I'm gonna be look back on this phase of my life, being 30, whatever it is, and being like, "I would give anything to go back and live that life again." So I think being present really boils down to knowing you're in the moments that you will look back fondly on when you're actually in them. That kind of feels a little bit like Inception. Being present means that I practice noticing all of the things around me that there is to love about where I am right now, whether I'm on vacation or whether I'm at home, whether it's the work week or the weekend. This is maybe another weird comparison to explain this. And I don't know if anyone else does this, but you know how when you have a stuffy nose and it's really hard to sleep and it's so uncomfortable and you can't breathe, and you're like, I took it for granted 2 days ago when I could fall asleep without a stuffy nose. I think life is a lot like that. It's kind of like the cliche of we don't know what we have until it's gone. We don't know to be grateful for an unstuffed nose until we have the stuffy nose. And I just don't want to live my life like that. I want to be appreciative of the unstuffed nose without needing the stuffy nose to remind me to be grateful for it. I mean, obviously that's like a small example. I don't want to live my life not realizing all the things I have to be happy about until those things are gone. Being fully present just means that you are fully aware of what you have when you have it. And being present is not always romantic or relaxing, by the way. Sometimes presence might look like discomfort or boredom or noticing something you've been avoiding. Sometimes presence means sitting with your thoughts instead of numbing them. I think, especially during the holidays, negative feelings come up. Yes, it's such a happy, joyful time. It's the most wonderful time of year. But for a lot of us, it also means that we feel lonely or that troubles with our families come up or anxieties, bad feelings about our health or our bodies. These things oftentimes come up. And sometimes what presence means is not just all the romanticizing your life kind of things, but sitting with your thoughts instead of trying to numb them. It's noticing the way that your shoulders tense when you're anxious or how you feel weirdly lonely after scrolling for too long or the feeling that being back home brings up for you. It's letting yourself feel sad without rushing to fix it, or being honest with yourself about what isn't working instead of pretending it's all fine. Presence is also about seeing what's actually going on in your internal world, which can be very confronting and scary. But that's the beauty of it because when you stop escaping your life, you can finally start living it. So, to our monthly curriculum, the main objective this month, I like to put an objective on it like it's a real class you would take in college. So, the main objective is to practice presence by coming back to yourself through your senses, your rituals, your nervous system, and your full attention. You will practice noticing your life while it's happening instead of thinking about it, rushing through it, or watching it through a screen. So, some hot girl habits for you to add this month to practice presence. First one, a ritual that I like to call be where your feet are. Every single day, you are going to actively practice presence. It can be first thing in the morning, or you can set an alarm for the middle of your day, or you can do this when you notice you're not being present. If you're at a holiday party and your mind starts wondering and you start panicking about what this person thinks or whatever, or like how you're going to feel tomorrow, you are going to practice this. Basically, what you do is you pause and you literally look at your feet. You feel them on the ground and then check in with your other senses. What can you see? What are you hearing? What can you smell? Are you tasting something if you're sipping a cocktail or you're eating? What are you touching? What's close to you? This is actually an insanely powerful practice because grounding through your senses brings you back to your body, which is the fastest way to calm your mind and reset your stress response. This practice is really inspired by kind of like an anxiety practice I have. I have no idea who originally said this quote, but I love the quote when I'm feeling anxiety of be where your feet are. This is a practice that I've built throughout the years with my therapist a while ago, and it's really been helpful for me. Every time I'm feeling anxiety, I might feel anxiety about overthinking what someone thinks about me, or I might have anxiety about I am feeling faint, my anxiety is going to I have a heart condition, I'm gonna pass out and die. Like, that's where my anxiety goes. So, I remind myself in these moments when I'm feeling the anxiety, be where your feet are, which to me means only focus on what you know is true in the moment. So, all of the anxiety that comes from, I'm worried what this person is thinking, that's all like future focus. That is just me making up stuff, right? It's me assuming they think a certain way based on this. When I tell myself, in my head, be where your feet are, it reminds me to be like, okay, what are the facts that I actually know to be true? I don't know that this person hates me. I don't know that this person was offended by this or thinks that this was stupid or whatever. I know that I said this thing and they responded saying, okay. I'm assuming all these things about the message, okay. Or I'm assuming that I'm going to have a heart attack and die just because I'm feeling faint or whatever it is. So, be where your feet are is an anxiety practice for me that helps me ground into what facts do I know instead of worrying about all the things that might be. So, it's great for my anxiety personally, but it also is really powerful to help you just be present. And again, you can do this every single morning of just like practicing presence. Hot girl habit number 2 is to romanticize something boring or mundane every single day this month. Your commute, doing the dishes, brushing your teeth. You're going to turn one of these mundane activities into a moment. You're going to light a candle. You're going to put on a playlist that makes you feel main character energy. You're going to make it all a vibe. Okay. You're going to make it sacred. This also might look like if you're really tired and you have to get ready for a holiday party, romanticize the getting ready. Make it really fun. Make yourself a mocktail, put on a fun playlist, light some candles, make the vibe right. This task isn't just about romanticizing your life, although, of course, that is amazing. But the goal for presence is that it is rewiring your association with the mundane. So instead of just rushing through your day, you will start finding beauty in the ordinary, which is really the heart of presence. You are reassociating the mundane with pleasure. So, this practice is so much more powerful than even just enjoying that moment you're in and romanticizing your life. And then the third hot girl habit to add this month, I'm actually pulling from last month's movie assignment. In last month's monthly curriculum, I recommended watching the movie About Time to tap into gratitude. But there's also a huge takeaway and reframe that I think we can apply to presence. And to me, this practice is actually the most powerful thing that taps me into the present best. So if you haven't seen About Time, if you didn't watch last month's extra credit movie screening, at the end of the movie, the main character who has this time traveling gift explains that he learned the real secret of time travel is not to change things. He stopped going back in time to try to change anything. Instead, he relives every single day with the purpose to enjoy it. So in the movie, you see him waking up one day and his alarm didn't go off and he's stressed because he's late for work and it's raining and he's rushing to a meeting and him and his wife are flustered trying to get the kids ready for bed and then they collapse into bed so exhausted. And then he repeats the exact same day with the purpose just to enjoy it. So it's the exact same day you see before, but instead, he is fully present. He wakes up and notices how beautiful his wife looks when she's sleeping. He enjoys the music the guy next to him is listening to on the subway in his headphones. He is dancing through the rain. He comes home and he tickles and plays with his kids. He, kisses his wife before bed. You see these two exact same days, but experience them completely differently. Remember that Harvard study I talked about earlier that showed that even neutral or slightly unpleasant tasks like commuting or doing the dishes made people happier when they were fully present compared to pleasurable activities like going out to dinner if they were done distracted? This is to me a really beautiful example of that, a way to showcase what that actually looks like in practice. You can have the exact same day, the same challenges and pitfalls and schedule and things on the to do list. And one can be a happy, beautiful, joyful, amazing day, and the other can be totally miserable. The only thing that's different about these 2 days is your presence. So, in the movie in About Time, the time traveler says he eventually stopped time traveling at all because instead of having to relive each day with the purpose of enjoying it, he just lived every single day with the purpose of enjoying it the first time. I want this to be your third habit, to ask yourself every single day among the crazy busy schedules and holiday stress and spending so much money and everything that will inevitably come up this month. Ask yourself, how would I experience this if my sole purpose, my one and only goal is to enjoy it, to enjoy this business meeting, to enjoy doing the dishes, enjoy this Netflix binge on the couch, to enjoy this workout or this party or holiday shopping or my end of year review? What if my only purpose of experiencing it was purely to enjoy it? The goal of this month is not to be perfect at being present. The goal is just to practice presence, to come back again and again to your body, to your people, to this moment. So let's go through our ins and outs this month. What's in alignment? Single tasking, focusing on one thing at a time. This will help your presence a lot. Noticing ordinary magic, like the way the sunlight hits your floor or the smell of your coffee. This is an amazing practice, especially for this time of year that just feels so magical anyway. Leaning into it, noticing it will increase the joy and pleasure that you will feel this season. Being emotionally present even when it's uncomfortable. So that means when you notice hard feelings coming up, sitting with it, noticing how your body feels, why that's coming up, instead of just trying to push it away or numb or distract. And then what's out this month? Beliefs to drop. That your worth is tied to how busy you are, that you have to earn rest or joy, that numbing is the only way to cope, that the holidays are only about doing, they actually more so are about being. And then that presence is a feeling instead of a practice. I want you to actually drop this belief because my problem, I guess, something that I think is hard is that I will think about presence and then worry so much if I'm actually being present that I will take myself out of presence just from worrying if I'm present or not present. So instead of viewing it as a feeling, because I think it's hard, it's impossible to not have thoughts pop up, instead just view it as a practice, something that you work on consistently. And then your power practices, think of these as extra credit for your monthly curriculum. A journal prompt for you. What would this day or this holiday party or this meal look and feel like if my only goal was to enjoy it? Do this journaling prompt before a holiday, like maybe before you head to your family Thanksgiving tonight. Do a little journal visualizing what Thanksgiving looks like if your only goal was to enjoy it. Or you can do this journal prompt as a morning ritual to really lean into the monthly curriculum. What would this day look like if my only goal was to enjoy it? You will show up drastically different every day, I swear. A challenge for you: create a presence playlist. So build a short playlist of songs that instantly will drop you into the moment. They can be like really cozy, calm, grounding, romantic. For me, there are some Christmas songs that remind me of the magic of childhood. So whenever I play them, I feel really present and nostalgic and emotional. Like they help me feel how lucky I am to live this life. So I love putting on this playlist for myself. But this can be any playlist, any songs that make you feel really present, and you can play it during the mundane moments, like when you're making your morning coffee or you're doing your nightly skincare. And playing this playlist will help train your brain to associate the music with mindfulness. So, again, you're creating more presence in your life, but you are also associating the mundane with more presence and romanticization, which will help with our goal as well. A book recommendation for you, something to read, is the book by Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. This book is like a reset button for your brain. It will teach you how to recognize when you're trapped in thought spirals about the past or future and how to gently bring your awareness back to the present. If you've ever felt like your mind is living in a different time zone than your body, as I often feel, this book will seriously help you realign. Movies to watch to help you tap into our theme of presence. Of course, I have to offer a Christmas movie, although honestly, I think any Christmas movie helps you be more present. The Grinch, the Jim Carrey version, is one of my favorites. We watch it every year. That one, of course, will help tap you into what really matters this season so you can be more present with loved ones instead of focus on all the other bullshit this time of year. Or Love Actually always makes me feel so emotional and happy and in love and like that feeling of presence. But also the movie It's a Wonderful Life, which I haven't watched in years because for some reason it makes me really feel so sad. Like I just feel really bad for this main character who's like having a hard time. But it's a great movie. It's a very happy ending. And it's ultimately a reminder that your existence, your right now life is meaningful and that presence, being here, is often the greatest gift you can give yourself and others. That is your curriculum for December. You are officially enrolled. And I hope you're leaving this episode not just with intentions, but with tools, habits you can start today, mindsets to shift into, and practices that you're excited to get started on December 1st. Or why even wait? Start now if you want. In a world that's constantly trying to rush you into the next thing, I hope that this month reminds you that you don't have to fix your entire life to feel happy. This practice of returning to yourself, to your body, to your life is one of the most powerful things that you can do. So, this month, whether you're lighting a candle, washing dishes, walking through snow, rushing through traffic to a holiday party, or just having a good, quiet cry on your couch, as I sometimes have this time of year, be present for it. That is where your life is actually happening. Not in January's goals or in the highlight reel, but right now. I would love to hear what you think of this monthly goal. Please drop in the comments or the Apple reviews how you are going to be practicing the monthly curriculum of presence this month. If this resonated with you, if you want me to keep doing episodes like this, let me know. Leave it in a quick review on Apple Podcasts or drop a comment on Spotify. I always read every single one of them. They shape the direction of the show and honestly dictate the content that I do and don't create for you. So let me know if you want more of this and I will give you more. Happy December, every girls. I will see you in the next episode. And until then, just come back to this moment again and again. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I know I sure did. Please do not forget to rate, review, and subscribe. It really makes a huge difference for our show so we can keep growing and bringing the content that you love. If you want more info, you can find us at the Evergirl Podcast on Instagram or theeverygirlpodcast.com. Talk to you next week.